Chase Chrisley and Jodi Fournerat talk big residence move. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Chase Chrisley and Jodi Fournerat have talked about a big residence move in their first interview together. The two have been dating for a while now and have made big changes in their lives since then. Fans love seeing Chase happy. However, they have talked about one of the biggest changes they have to make for their relationship. There is a lot to unfold and uncover. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Chase Chrisley and Jodi Fournerat to long distance. Chase Chrisley has had his fair share of relationships that fans have seen. However, this one seems to be his most solid one yet. He is dating Jodi Fournerat and has been for a good amount of time. However, for the first year of their relationship, they were doing long distance. Jodi would come to see Chase. However, due to her work schedule, she could only stay the weekend. When Chase went to see her, he could stay 2 or 3 weeks. Regardless, long distance was hard on them and their relationship. They were able to work through it and make the best decision for their relationship. Fans love seeing them so happy together. They talk a big residence move for their relationship. Chase Chrisley and Jodi Fournerat talked about how she had to move to Tennessee to be with him. This was a decision they had to make for their relationship. I was on call all the time. I was working weekends, so I would come in as much as I could to Nashville. But it was definitely a lot easier for Chase to be able to fly in. I would only be able to stay for typically a weekend, versus Chase would come in, and he would be able to stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was just easier for her to make the move. It seems as though Jodi had to move to Tennessee for the better of their relationship. Long distance was hard on them, as it is for anyone. However, Jodi was the one who had to make the big move. Regardless, it worked out for the best, and the two are in a great place in their relationship. She was also a big reason why Chase got sober. What do you think about this? Do you like them together? In a surprising twist that has both fans buzzing and insiders raising their eyebrows, Chase Chrisley and his girlfriend Jodi Fournerat are officially talking about a massive residential move, a decision that could mark the beginning of a new chapter in their whirlwind romance and personal growth, far removed from the shadows of family drama, courtroom headlines, and the long echoing silence of a reality television era, now paused by scandal and transformation. The couple's candid talk of relocation offers not just a peek into their future, but a symbolic step away from a past that has weighed heavily on the Chrisley name. Known for his quick wit, boyish charm, and sometimes wild streak, Chase Chrisley has spent much of his adult life in front of the cameras, letting America watch his highs, lows, heartbreaks, and missteps play out in real time through the lens of the hit series Chrisley Knows Best. But now, as the spotlight dims and real life sets in, the reality star is showing signs of a quieter, more intentional existence, and Jodi Fournerat appears to be right beside him through every twist of the new journey together. They have sparked intrigue among fans, who are now eagerly watching what could be the beginning of something permanent, personal, and refreshingly private. For Chase, the idea of moving away from familiar territory isn't just about geography. It's about breaking away from a past that includes public scrutiny, emotional upheaval, and the endless weight of being a Chrisley in a world that has seen the family's reputation undergo a complete transformation. Once seen as the charming troublemaker of the household, Chase has spent the past year confronting deeper realities of who he is, who he wants to become, and how love, loyalty, and identity play into all of it. And now he's facing a decision that will shape the course of his adult life, where to go and who to become when the cameras are no longer dictating the storyline. In a recent heartfelt discussion captured during a private sit-down that insiders say felt more like a therapeutic session than a typical reality TV moment, Chase and Jodi opened up about their dreams, their fears, and most importantly, their desire to build a home together, not just a house, but a sanctuary far removed from the constant noise of media attention, fan assumptions, and lingering family baggage. Their tone was serious, their emotions authentic, and their intentions unmistakably clear. They'd want a clean slate. and they're ready to leave behind the cities and spaces that have become tangled in the past. Jodi, who has remained mostly quiet during the family's most turbulent periods, finally opened up in a way that many fans have been hoping for. She spoke with clarity and strength about what it means to love someone who comes from a legacy as complicated as the Chrisleys, and how difficult it has been to watch Chase shoulder the pressure of expectations he never asked for. According to her, the decision to move isn't about running away, it's about choosing peace over chaos, future over fear, and self-respect over public approval. She wants a home where their love can breathe without being dissected, where Chase is not Todd Chrisley's son, but simply her partner, her equal, and her safe space. The couple reportedly toured multiple locations over the past several months, scoping out towns and cities that offer charm, safety, community, and anonymity, a hard combination to find when your last name is Chrisley, but one they are determined to seek out regardless of the challenges. While they have not disclosed their top choice, some close to them believe they are leaning toward a quieter southern state, one that embraces family values without the intense spotlight of Nashville's celebrity culture or Atlanta's relentless media loop. The goal, they say, is to find a town where no one cares about your reality TV past, only about your heart, your character, and the way you show up for others. Chase has been noticeably more introspective lately. Those close to him say he has spent the past year digging deep into therapy, self-reflection, and quiet time far away from social media and public appearances. For someone who once seemed to thrive on being the wild card of the Chrisley bunch, his current demeanor is something of a revelation. He's quieter, more grounded, and more thoughtful about the company he keeps and the energy he allows into his life. He credits Jodi with much of that transformation, saying that her steadiness, her loyalty, and her belief in his better self have made him want to rise to the occasion and be a better man, not just for her, but for himself. Fans of Chrisley Knows Best have taken notice of the shift, many expressing support and encouragement as Chase navigates what appears to be the most mature and intentional season of his life. Yet, while some still wonder whether he will return to television in some new format, others seem content to see him simply live without a script, without forced drama, and without the pressure to entertain for the sake of ratings. In Jodi, they see a woman who is not just a girlfriend, but a grounding force, a stabilizing presence in a life that has known very little peace since the family's legal troubles began. The potential move also signals a symbolic break from the Chrisley compound and all the expectations that come with it. While the Chrisley brand once celebrated tight-knit family dynamics and Southern charm, it also carried the weight of dysfunction, secrecy, and now legal consequences. By choosing to step away and establish a new residence with Jodi, Chase is making a statement, one that says he is no longer the reality kid chasing attention, but a man carving out his own identity on his own terms, with someone who sees him for who he is and not who the world expects him to be. The reaction from the rest of the Chrisley family has been cautiously supportive. Insiders say that Savannah in particular has encouraged Chase to follow his heart and do what is best for his mental health and future. She understands perhaps better than anyone what it means to live under the magnifying glass and the importance of finding spaces where your last name doesn't define your value. She believes Chase deserves a chance to build his own life story, one free of comparisons, legacy, or guilt, and she's cheering him on as he takes those brave steps with Jodi by his side. As for Todd and Julie, the situation is more complex, with both still serving time and emotionally distant from the day-to-day developments in their children's lives. It's unclear how they feel about the proposed move, though sources close to the family suggest there may be mixed emotions: pride in Chase's desire to grow, but sadness in the physical and emotional distance that such a move could create for a family that once valued proximity and tradition above all else. Change can be both healing and heartbreaking. Still, Chase and Jodi seem focused, determined, and emotionally aligned in a way that suggests this move is not a fantasy, but a real and necessary decision, one that reflects their growth, their priorities, and their belief that sometimes the best way to honor your past is to respectfully walk away from it and start over somewhere new where the soil is fresh and the future unwritten. In a world that often treats reality stars as characters rather than people, Chase Chrisley is proving that he is more than just the sum of past episodes, more than just the son of a fallen patriarch, more than just the comic relief in a family known for extremes. He is a man in transition, learning how to love, live, and lead on his own terms. And in Jodi Fournerat, he has found someone who not only understands that journey, but wants to walk it with him every step of the way. As moving plans become more serious and the couple continues to map out what their next chapter looks like, one thing is clear: this isn't just about a change of address. It's about reclaiming identity, rediscovering love, and finding peace in a world that hasn't always offered them grace. Whether they end up in a sleepy southern town or an undisclosed destination where no one knows their story, the message is the same: Chrisley is ready to move forward, and he's taking Jodi with him, heart first, bags packed, past behind, and future wide open. Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.